Hello and welcome to another video. This one will be just looking back at the days of the World Cup. I didn't do one yesterday because I didn't want to just do something about that one game, but got these 4 games today, 4 games for the rest of, for the next few weeks. So yeah, we'll start in Group A, Game 1, first game of the World Cup, Qatar versus Ecuador. Qatar ranked 50th in the world, Ecuador ranked 44th. Qatar was very, very bad. Ecuador weren't great themselves, but the quality was just so much more. Just in the first half, they realised after 20 minutes they didn't have to put any effort in. They could just, when they had the ball, they could just stretch it around, pass it just slowly, ease the tempo a bit, not exude much energy. And when the Qatar had the ball, they just jogged up the pitch, put some pressure on. They'll try and pass it out, but they either lose it or they'll lump it out and they'll get the ball back. They basically scored straight away for Valencia, but that was disallowed for offside. People thought, people just didn't understand the offside rule, really, did they? Then they just got through again a few minutes later, and Valencia scored that time. Through the penalty, getting past the keeper, it was just really simple to get through. And half an hour really doubles the lead, and that kind of just killed the game, really. Qatar knew the quality difference, but Ecuador knew the quality difference. It was just too easy. Like Moises Caicedo didn't even have to have an amazing game for Ecuador to win. It was just controlling it, bouncing back and bouncing balls back at the defence. Didn't really have to put it in midfield. Like Ecuador had 6 shots on goal. They got it all done in the first half. They had 3 shots in each half. Qatar, they had a couple pop shots here and there. They had a decent headed opportunity, but there was nothing. There was nothing there from that team where you go, that's the 50th ranked team in the world. No way. There's no way they should be ranked 6 places lower than Ecuador right now. And Ecuador have got a few good players, like Moises Caicedo, Estupinian, Hincapié, Valencia. They're all good players. And Valencia doing really well in Turkey for Fenerbahce. Hincapié very high related for my load because obviously Caicedo and Estupinian for Brighton. But they've got a team where they've got enough high energy players. I like that about them. High energy players that will work on and off the ball, and that can always get you far in tournaments like this when teams haven't had enough time to maybe prepare tactics to break teams down in low blocks and defensive teams. It could be a struggle for some of their teams. So teams that do sit defensively, that do work well together, have high energy players, young players as well. There's always players in tournaments like that, and if they can, get past the Netherlands and Senegal to knockout stages, they obviously will probably get knocked out at some stage, but it won't be that easy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Qatar do in the next couple of days because Senegal have more quality all round than Ecuador. Ecuador do have some good players where Senegal don't, but Senegal have the all-round quality more, and Netherlands, they have so much more quality than Qatar. It'll be interesting to see how they fare against them, but they probably won't be able to score a goal. Let's just say that. And then the biggest game, second game of this tournament, England versus Iran. It was a bit hit and miss start. England just controlled the ball. Iran under Carlos Queiroz, they're always going to just put men behind the ball and try and look for that one opportunity during the game. And then 2 minutes in, they were time wasted, hoping for that 0-0. But yeah, keeper going down, it completely slowed the momentum down, and it was a bit weird. You got over a few minutes. England should have had a penalty probably with them just rugby tackling Maguire to the ground, and a couple of minutes later Maguire hitting the bar. So England were getting opportunities. It's unlike England in the past where they would just knock the ball around and not actually create opportunities, but they were threatening, and then out, and then their quality to begin with is Luke Shaw down the left hand side, cross it in, and Jude Bellingham, the 19 years old, this guy is 19, and gotta say Jude Bellingham's performance was absolutely amazing. I know it was against Iran, but his performance was absolutely amazing. Completely dominated mid of the park. Completely dominated it. 113 touch ball, 92 out of 96 passing completed, 7-8 out 8 long balls, 2 out of 2 dribbles, 6 out of 8 ground duels, won 3 tackles, absolutely dominates the middle of the park. He's a threat. The thing about Bale, there's players that are good in the defensive third, or right middle third, can't be an attacking third. Or players like, I don't know, Mason Mount is probably good in the attacking third, all right in the middle third, but not good in the defensive third. Declan Rice is very good in the defensive third, quite good in the middle third, but gets the attacking third, he can't really do much. Bellingham excels in all them areas. Defensive third, he was picking up passes, dribbling out of defence, playing out the back. Middle third is winning the ball, dribbling past people, getting the ball up pitch, making line breaking passes, really good. Attacking third, scored the goal winning headers, but also contributed to other goals. For Sterling's third goal, the third goal was Sterling. He was the guy who picked up the middle of the park, drove forward and passed it out to Kane. For Jack Grealish's goal, he played the ball down the line to Callum Wilson. It was just very, very good. Very good. So England double the lead. 8 minutes later, Bukayo Saka, great goal. Again, threatening from a corner. Maguire knocks it down, Saka scores, very good goal. And Kane Sterling, everything Gareth Southgate has been wanting there. They've been working on that clearly. Beginning of the second half, again, England just passed the ball around really. They knew the game was over, they ran the game was over, but then Saka got another goal, very good for him, Sterling with an assist. Very good game by Bukayo Saka, looked very threatening down that right hand side. And then just a couple of minutes later, Ryan get it back, and you're like, oh, hang on. Maguire lost his man. Taremi ran him behind, and very good finish by him, to be fair. Then just 6 minutes later, Marcus Rashford puts the game to bed. 3 touches of the ball when he scored. At the very good 49 seconds of Rashford as well. I think, whilst I do think Rashford should start over Sterling in this tournament, because I just think right now he's playing better than Sterling. Sterling's not in good form. He got a goal and assist today, but again, it wasn't that threatening. It wasn't that good. I would say England got a good result, but didn't have a good performance, if you know what I mean. We scored 6 goals, but we also, created 6 opportunities. I'd rather us score 6 goals, but also create 3 or 4 other opportunities where we could have easily scored all 5. But we didn't do that. But maybe that's asking too much. But I think later down the tournament, it could be a struggle if we played like this, especially against the Ram. But Marcus Rashford off the bench is a very good player. Getting Marcus Rashford, Jack Grealish off the bench, I think they're very good options. Very good options. Players that defenders just don't want to face. Jack Grealish off the bench is very good, picking up fouls, getting the ball up the pitch. Marcus Rashford threatening behind. He dropped deep quite a few times, which I didn't like, but he's a threat in behind. And so we saw that a couple of times. First for his goal, just 3 touches, and he's in behind and scores, and then he nearly got another goal, driven past a couple of players and shooting with his left foot, but there's just too many defenders in the way. But game plays up. That's what I think Southgate really got wrong in the past couple of tournaments. He just didn't change it up. In 2018, he didn't change it up at all. In the Euros final, he had Rashford and Sancho on the bench for the whole of extra time and didn't bring them on. Give them an opportunity. We're getting absolutely pummeled by Italy by the end. We didn't get an opportunity off the bench. I think in his tournament, he needs to utilise these substitutes, because maybe whilst you look at the last tournament, it's like Sterling could always bring a goal, but right now Sterling's not in the best form. He got the goal and assist today, very good, but he wasn't in the best of form. You can take him off. It's not like he's putting up these 25 goals per season, Sterling, right now. He's not that guy right now. But we've got these threats off the bench, which I really like. And then Jack Grealish goes goal good, unselfishness by Kevin Wilson, and the penalty at the end, it wasn't a penalty, was it, really? If it was a penalty, then you've got to give them Maguire one. There's just no consistency, and it was all very weird that they gave that one, but not that one. But yeah, perfect start for England in the group. This really should seal them for qualification really already, especially with the draw with USA and Wales as well. And Iran are going to be a tough test for USA and Wales, because they do pose a defensive threat. That's something like England created 6 chances really, and some of them players with the quality USA and Wales have them probably won't take away. So really, it's going to be a very tough test. But next game, Senegal Netherlands, it was a bit of a snooze fest, wasn't it? It was a complete snooze fest. Yeah, but Senegal did play quite well. Missing Sadio Mane, they were always going to, not have that attacking threat up front. But they still caused Netherlands quite a few problems. Quite a few problems that if they had a bit more quality up front, a bit more composure up front. If the ball ran into it wasn't falling to Idrissa Gueye the whole time, they probably could do something about it, but they didn't have that quality up front, and they didn't have that up front, and yeah, Netherlands kind of got away with it because they played really bad. If you look at the statistics, they had 53% possession. If you think of Netherlands, Senegal, Netherlands should be dominating possession, but they didn't. They really didn't. They really struggled. Senegal had 15 shots to their 10. They really struggled in a lot of the game. They've struggled to do anything, control-wise in the game for periods of time. Vincent Janssen with Gakpo on the right and Berg on the left. Denzel Dumfries wasn't that good, and Berghaus and De Jong, has maybe too attacking at times, not enough defensive awareness in that midfield. I think probably what Van Gaal should do in the next match is probably start either Koopmeiners or De Roon in that next to De Jong, so to freeze De Jong up a bit, to roam forward, and he's got to start Gakpo on the left. Gakpo is so good. He got the first goal for Netherlands. He's so good. His general play, might not be, up to the standards, but yeah, the general play usually comes in effect about 25, 26, 27 years old. That's when wingers usually start to affect a general play like that, but he's just a goal and assist machine right now. Goal and assist machine, and he got the goal. Good ball in by Frankie de Jong. Great ball, and he was able to get up the pitch because Koopmeiners the more defensive minded playing next to him. He got Frankie de Jong out the pitch. Great ball in. Cody Gakpo, great to pounce on it. Got in front of Mendy, who had a shocking game. It's weird, Mendy. 3 years ago, he was completely unknown. Then he became the world's best goalkeeper, and then now he's putting absolute clangers left, right, and centre. And then for the David Klaassen goal, Mendy was at fault again, just rebound the ball straight into Klaassen, and Klaassen finished, and that was it. But I think if you look at both these teams are going to win against Qatar. If they don't win against Qatar, then they don't deserve anything. But the Ecuador game is going to be a struggle because Senegal have that Koulibaly, who probably not now, but has been world class. Idrissa Gueye has been world class. Ismail Assar can perform really well. Mendy and Kiarte went off injured in midfield, but Diallo, even Edouard and Mendy, they do have some players that can, on their day, be really, really good. Ecuador do have players that on the day can be really good, but it's a lot less consistent than the Senegal team. So Senegal, Ecuador is going to be very, very interesting. When's that? Is that the last game of the group? Yeah, Ecuador, Senegal in the last game of the group is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. But next for Netherlands is playing against Ecuador. And that's also going to be a struggle for them because they struggle with the high energy of Senegal. They really did it. Senegal, with their workmen like midfield of Idrissa Gueye, Kiarte, and then plays Mendy. With it, also Brigadier Diatta and Ismail Assar, it's also workman's forward line. It's not the quality in it, but they did work really hard. And they put Netherlands into some bad situations, really bad situations. But the problem with Netherlands, they don't have that consistent guy where you go, I want that guy to partner Frankie de Jong midfield. And that's maybe why you should move to a 3 midfield maybe. And start with a Gakpo, Depay up front together, or just have it's weird in Netherlands. You wouldn't really assume that with Netherlands at midfield where they're really struggling for players in there, but they are. They don't look. You can start Martin Deroon, but on the ball he's a bit iffy, and do you want to take that risk? Kenneth Taylor unproven really at this stage. David Clarkson, he again more forward minded. They don't have that guy that I want him to partner. Maybe move Euro and Timber into midfield, but that's a bit of a risk in a massive tournament. So I understand Van Gaal going through at the back. I do, because it doesn't really have a right back. He has Denzel Dumfries or Jeremiah Frimpong, but they're maybe too attacking minded. But I think a back four of Timber, De Ligt, Van Dijk and Daley Blind will do really well. And then you can put more bodies in midfield just to help out. So you can play Coop Miners and De Roon, De Jong and Berghaus. But I expect Van Gaal probably to stick the same, because Louis Van Gaal is a bit stubborn, isn't he? He's a bit stubborn in his ways, and it did look like a Man United team of 2016, didn't it? But Netherlands should be going through. This win is a massive win against Senegal, which is one that games are going to win. So beating Qatar on the final group game, a death row is easy for them, I think. And the last game, USA Wales, was a very good game. It was a very good game. Wales came out. It was weird the way Wales first set up, because they came out really looking to counter, but on the lack of quality really, and they were just not very ambitious on the ball, or even off the ball. They would literally just they set up on 5-3-2 with Bale and James to run up front, but they were both so isolated, and you want to get Daniel James in behind. They weren't finding him behind, they get him to feet. Gareth Bale always had 2-3 players around him, and Nico Williams and Connor Roberts were so pegged back in the first half. It was a really weird first half from Wales. It might have been shell shock, but also the USA were very good in the first half. You got to give it to them. They were very good in the first half. They pushed it back, pressing out the pitch, the ball back, controlling the game. The USA looked very good in the first half. Look at the stats from the first half. USA had 3 shots to in target, 0.66 XG. Wales had 0.17 XG, but in the second half, USA had 0.13 and Wales had 1.4. Wales completely switched up in the second half. I think that was just key for more, and getting the wing backs high up the pitch and being a bit more positive on the ball. Just getting the ball into key for more, a guy that could hold it up consistently, and he looked really good. But he held up consistently. Connor Roberts and Nico Williams were flying high. Yeah, Bale, Ramsey looked good, link up play. Harry Wilson looked good. Ampty was cussing out things. It looked really good in the second half. USA didn't know how to react, because it looks like they can only play one way. It looks like they really know how to do it when they're pressing high on the pitch, but when they're being pegged back and have to counter, they look like they're really struggling. It looks like that way because they've got a lot of players that are used to that style, maybe. Like Tyler Adams is a red ball player, high energy, front foot player. Weston McKennie is that ball winner, not really a guy that likes to sit back. He wants to push forward. Musa also midfield, a guy that pushes forward. They're wing backs, again, forward thinking wing backs. So when they did get pegged back, they just didn't know how to deal with it. And then long balls in behind, when you only got Tim Ream and Walker Zinnemann. Tim Ream's a good player for Fulham, but it's not the same, is it? There's just such a quality difference there, especially in centre back. So I think if USA are able to play like they do in the first half against teams, they look good. But I've struggled to think how many first halves the games are going to be like that. And like against England, I think the quality difference is going to show. I don't think they're going to play that well, because you saw in the second half Wales were just able to pin them back at times, and they really struggled playing that way. And Wales have nowhere near the quality of England. And against Iran, yes, they might probably control the space on the pitch. They'll probably have most of the ball in Iran's half, but I don't think they have the creative players maybe to deal with that. Maybe having Aronson on the pitch instead of a Timmy Thoreau or Josh Sargent, just have another creative in there. I think it might be a struggle for them. They needed to win this game. They were so close to winning. They had the lead through Timothy Weah with great goal, great ball by Pulisic, great goal by Timothy Weah. But you saw the quality was getting Bale just a bit smarter than Tim Ream. Tim Ream covered the back of him, but they were a few minutes away from getting that 1-0 win, and 3 points would have been absolutely massive. But now it just depends on what them two do against probably Iran. And it may be in England. If either of them get probably something out of the England game, that's probably the team that gets through. But the Iran game for both of these teams are absolutely massive, absolutely massive. And I think the struggle. I think USA will probably just get out of the group. But I thought that before the tournament maybe, but I think based on that second half, I think Wales will probably have the bit more quality in that Iran game, a bit more composure maybe. Because second halves are really the telling of how good teams are, and the USA offered absolutely nothing in that second half. And the changes from the manager were really bad as well, really bad. But yeah, that are my thoughts on today's games. Tomorrow games, 4 games on. I want to see the Saudi Arabia. I expect Nice and Argentina when they're great form, got the Messi. And that second game, Group C, Mexico, Poland. I think it's a closely contested game now, really. Closely contested one. But I think maybe just the quality of Lewandowski might show through. But again, with Poland, he hasn't. He's been good, but they haven't been that good. I think probably a draw in that game. And then Group D got Denmark, Tunisia. I think the quality of Denmark will probably show. But Tunisia do work well together. But Denmark have shown they've beaten France twice recently. They had the good Euros last time out. They've got some really quality players: Christian Eriksen, Højbjerg in midfield. I think they were showing them Australia. France probably just got too much quality of Australia, but they are missing obviously some key players, but they'll probably ease past them. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share your comments, your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, thank you for watching.